Somewhere in the quiet after a long day, a question can rise that we rarely say out loud. After all we carried, all we got wrong, all we left undone, do we still belong to Him? Tonight's reading from the Prophet Ezekiel answers that in the strangest of settings. And Bishop Fulton Sheen meets us afterward with the word about the friends who are always ready when we return. In our Wednesday evening reading from Ezekiel, chapter 9, we hear, "The Lord cried out for me to hear, 'Come, you scourges of the city.' With that I saw 6 men coming from the direction of the upper gate, which faces the north, each with a destroying weapon in his hand. In their midst was a man dressed in linen, with a writer's case at his waist. They entered and stood beside the bronze altar. Then he called to the man dressed in linen, with the writer's case at his waist, saying to him, 'Pass through the city, through Jerusalem, and mark a thou on the foreheads of all those who moan and groan over all the abominations that are practiced within it.' There is judgment coming in his vision, and it is severe. But notice where the Lord begins. Before anything falls, a man dressed in linen moves quietly through the city with a writer's case, sent to find one particular kind of person. Not the strong or successful, but the ones who moan and groan over all that has gone wrong, whose hearts still ache over sin and have not made peace with it. Those are the ones he marks. The mark itself is worth sitting with. In the ancient script, the letter tau was written as a cross, so centuries before Calvary, the sign that saves is already a cross traced on the forehead. We know that sign. It was pressed onto us at baptism, and we trace it over ourselves every time we begin to pray. Tonight, it means what it has always meant. We are His. That question we carry into the dark, whether we still belong, is answered here in the most unlikely place. The mark does not go to the ones who got everything right. It goes to the ones still soft enough to grieve. If you came to the end of this day aware of where you fell, if some part of you is uneasy about the distance between who you are and who you long to be, that unease is not the absence of grace. In Ezekiel, it is the very thing that gets you marked. To the others, I heard the Lord say, "Pass through the city after him and strike. Do not look on them with pity, nor show any mercy. Old men, youths and maidens, women and children, wipe them out. But do not touch any marked with the thou. Begin at my sanctuary." So they began with the men, the elders, who were in front of the temple. "Defile the temple," he said to them, "and fill the courts with the slain. Then go out and strike in the city." Whoa! The words that follow are hard to hear, and we should not soften them. The command is total, and it spares no one except those who carry the mark. Yet even here, in the middle of something this severe, mercy has already done its work. Before the first blow falls, the tender-hearted are sealed. They were found first and marked first. Mercy going ahead of everything else. One line should stop us. Begin at my sanctuary. The reckoning starts not out in the streets, but in the house of God, among the ones who should have known better. That is not comfortable, and it is not meant to be, but it is strangely hopeful too, because it tells us the Lord takes His own house seriously and never looks away from what happens close to Him. The same nearness that makes the judgment sharper is the nearness that marks and saves. Then the glory of the Lord left the threshold of the temple and rested upon the cherubim. These lifted their wings, and I saw them rise from the earth, the wheels rising along with them. They stood at the entrance of the eastern gate of the Lord's house, and the glory of the God of Israel was up above them. Then the cherubim lifted their wings, and the wheels went along with them, while up above them was the glory of the God of Israel. Then comes the saddest image of the whole vision. The glory of the Lord lifts from the temple, carried on the wings of the cherubim, and moves to the eastern gate. His presence departing from the place that had stopped being a home for him. Anyone who has drifted from him knows something of how that feels. The sense that he has grown distant, that the light has moved somewhere we can no longer reach. But watch where the glory goes. It moves toward the eastern gate, toward the sunrise, toward the direction from which he always returns. The glory does not vanish. It waits, and in time it comes back through that same gate. Even in the departing, there is a promise of return. So hear the whole of this reading tonight, and not only the hard part. Those who grieve are marked, and the glory that lifts is the glory that comes home. Welcome to the Sacred Heart family. I'm Aaron. We pray together, walk with the saints, and reflect on the gospel every day. If this is the kind of reflection your evening needs, like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. As we prepare our hearts for rest, we now turn to the wisdom of Bishop Fulton Sheen. Books are the most wonderful friends in the world. When you meet them and pick them up, they are always ready to give you a few ideas. When you put them down, they never get mad. When you take them up again, they seem to enrich you all the more. There's something almost playful in that, and also something true enough to sit with a while. A book never resents you for setting it down. It holds its place, keeps everything it was going to give you. And when you come back, it offers even more than before. Sheen is speaking about books, but he has described something much larger without quite naming it. Because the word we open tonight is exactly the kind of friend and the one who speaks through it more than any book could be. We put him down, sometimes for a long time, caught up in being busy or drifting toward the easy road, and he does not get mad. He keeps his place. And have you noticed that the times we come back to prayer after a long absence are often the times it gives us the most? At the end of an ordinary Wednesday, tired and unsure, he does not scold us for the time away. He enriches us all the more. So we come to the end of the day, held by one quiet truth, carried from the prophet to the bishop, across more than 2,000 years. The mark of belonging is given not to the flawless, but to the tender-hearted, the ones who still grieve over what is broken. That same glory, when it seems to withdraw, moves toward the sunrise and waits there to return. And the word we set down through all our busy days keeps its place and receives us again, richer than we left it, never once resentful of the time away. None of us has arrived, and none of us has been forgotten. We hand back tonight what we could not carry. We let the sign of the cross rest on us, as it has since baptism, and we close our eyes, marked, kept, and quietly enriched by the one who was always ready when we returned. Share your intentions in the comments of the video so that the Sacred Heart family may walk with you in faith and charity. Tonight's Catholic evening prayers are waiting for you at the website. Click the link in the center of the screen now, and I'll see you there. God bless.